All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Demon Slayer, Season 2, Episode 2.
All right, well, Rengoku has passed.
Yep, and we are going to the Entertainment District.
Yes, the Entertainment District of the lights that are red, it seems.
Indeed. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Muzan is being very undercover in his current situation.
He's a real boy. Yeah, he's just a little boy in a family,
little boy, just
and
cute,
no one would
adorable,
ever
perfect boy.
suspect him.
No, of course not.
Not their little Johnny.
No.
Yeah.
The point when he just went, and then just his eyes popped out, it was just like, oh yeah, I forgot. Demon Slayer can be really unsettling at times.
It definitely can be. Yeah.
And Akaza is not being looked at rather fondly.
Right.
No, he is a big deal on the demon side of things.
But is he though? He's kind of a little bitch, he showed his true colors.
He kind of did, yeah. He did. I mean, the sun is the sun. You can't beat the sun. That's true. That is a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that our boy Banjiro yeeted a sword. And then he was so pissed at the fact that Tanjiro's words rang in his head.
Oh, yeah.
That he beat the shit out of the sword. Now, that's not a euphemism. He literally did that. And also...
He might have also done that.
Right, later to cool off. Because he got hot. The sun came really close, But,
exactly.
Yeah. So...
Build that confidence for talking to Musa.
Right, exactly. Level his breathing and his heartbeat. Or his lack of one. Tanjiro, though, had a really unique interaction, though, with the family of Rengoku. And, they're grieving in their very tortured and pained ways.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's rough. And the fact that Rengoku kind of was, in some ways, the one that maybe even wasn't, prepared really to be a Hashira. He was just really passionate about it, and now he's dead means that, hey, y'all potentially, being Hashira or someone that could replace, him or something like that, that's it's not all
you have your work cut out for you.
Wisteria flowers,
Right, exactly. And so now what these doofuses will be able to do to help their new resident Hashira in this mission in the Entertainment District.
Right.
I'm very curious how that will work out.
Yeah. Which one is he? Tengen. Yeah. He's a unique piece of work.
He is.
He gives me vibes of a JoJo character that doesn't have his posse. So I'm like,
right.
What?
And now he's just got to babysit
man?
these kids. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
He must be thrilled.
Right. I kind of want there to be a lot of comedy in that angle.
Oh, I would love for that to happen.
I feel like that's where we could get some really good stuff, especially with our trio of dumbass boys. But then also, potentially, this could be a cool way now that Nezuko has been officially kind of passed her test.
Yep. She could actually,
she could do a lot
participate.
Here, especially if it's nightlife stuff. She can be out and about and doesn't have to worry about the sun.
Nope. And if it's a place where demons congregate, then maybe it could be, hey, I'm a new demon. Where do I go?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She could infiltrate, and we could have her, do more than go,
Right. Maybe she'd actually get to take the muzzle off and speak.
That would be awesome.
Nah, that's not going to happen.
But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. All right. Okay.
That was wow.
That was a good introduction to the Entertainment District.
Yes, and it was quite entertaining.
It was quite entertaining, yeah.
It's something where, even though, they're going up against demons, and the demons will have, tragic backstories and things like that, and it can get very serious.
Right.
I do appreciate how the show does comedy.
Yeah.
Yes, can you just take something and then apply a generous amount of derp faces? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That 100% works.
Not?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we love our dumbass boys.
Right.
In some ways, at all, considering how ridiculously singular they can be in their tropes.
Oh, totally.
And yet, when fucking Zenitsu, one of the most annoying ones of the three, just completely like channels all his fury at going into the shamisen, because he realizes not only is Tengen an ultra giga chad with not one, not two, but 3 wives, and
that
I think
all
he has
hot badass babes.
I think he has like a pretty good setup with them. Like, it's not some like, oh yeah, I bought them.
Right.
I paid them off or what have you, or they serve me. It's no. They look like they're all legit badasses who very much like the setup that they're in.
Right.
And then you have to get pawned off basically for free because you're too ugly.
Right.
And no skill in this region there. But then you pick up the shamisen and channel to, I'll get back at that thing.
And this also addresses something that that I was very like confused by in the previous episode, because like, okay, what's his name, Tengen. Tengen, when we get like reintroduced to him, right, and he's
because we didn't really know anything.
We didn't really know anything from him from season 1.
Real introduction.
But it is funny that in our notes, like as
all we had for him was Giga Chad. Yep.
And that
was it.
Like, because we had like a specific word to like help us remember which Hashira was
and
which,
a color coordinated thing, and then what type of Hashira they were.
Yep. And that was basically what we had for notes, because we didn't know too much about the Hashira yet, right?
Yeah.
But
it was like
this is the perfect way to explain the like to the
vibe check we got from
the vibe check. Yeah, because at the beginning he's carrying off little girls to go help him infiltrate in the entertainment district, but then at the same time
it makes so much sense.
But then he also he's like, okay, I'll take you guys instead. I thought you just said that you needed girls. Well, he does need girls.
He does,
and you're gonna be girls, right? Yep. So, there you go.
And the fact that he's probably like, oh, like I literally do not care what setup you guys are running here or what have you. I have 3 wives that I am desperate. I need to get in there because I've lost contact with them. Like I need to get in there and figure out what's going on.
Right. Yes, he needs to get in there.
Yep. I'm just setting you up, man. If you want to make jokes, you could just.
The joke doesn't need to be made. It's already made.
That's true.
But in all seriousness, I do really love the way that the comedy was used of them dressing up as girls and stuff to infiltrate this area.
Right.
Because that could have been potentially really uncomfortable if it's like, hey, I'm going to grab, girls that don't normally do like mission field work with the demon slayers, and then suddenly, hey, go in there and you'll be fine, right? Whereas in this case, no, it's poking fun at it, because it's like, of course they are terrible at being undercover. Absolutely horrible.
In fact, in some ways, that might make them less suspicious to any demons, because they're like, okay, so they just have some idiot children here. What else is
all
new?
right?
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Moving on.
Right,
but no, ultra like perfect ninjas or what have you. One of them actually gets caught.
Got caught. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And Tanjiro coming up with some really good scenarios as to how a demon would actually thrive in this environment because of Ashinuki.
Yes. And yet we still haven't even seen Nezuko.
I mean, yeah. But Nezuko is not going to be giving exposition or interacting with the exposition givers. So
no, totally. But one of the things I
need to wait until it makes sense for Nezuko to be brought into things.
But one of the things that I am very curious to see is that, given that Tanjiro, or whatever his name is,
I think it's like Sumiko or something.
Sumiko,
yeah.
Since he got basically pawned off, right? His luggage, right? Like that could be discovered, right? Like
I think if anything, his setup will probably be one where he's like, oh, this is basically my other sister, my younger sister,
right?
Not my older sister, because that's but this is my younger sister who she's just needs to be taken care of by me, because like I know her special medicine. Like I know I need to be there for her.
She's taken a vow of silence, so don't mind the muzzle.
Actually, that's still the funny thing though, is that they're probably going to be like, why the hell did we waste our time on you when we had this beauty here? And then,
and also, you know, it's the whole thing of like, yes, Tengen. It's like, you three are with me. We're still not going to use Nezuko, though, even though she would be perfect for Infiltrating.
She would be perfect for this, yeah.
But, yeah.
I think it's partially, though, just the issue of Tengen will need to see how Nezuko handles being amongst lots of humans.
Yep.
And basically controls her herself, which she's done fantastically well at, you know, for the most part. So I think it's more just, we just can't handle a character right now that's not talking for the pacing side of things.
Wait, what are you talking about? Inosuke's not talking, which, by the way, I love that detail because
he wasn't really in the episode for the most part. Actually,
he was doing a super stealth covert mission. Solid Snake, get him a box. Like, yeah, one of the things that I'm very curious to see how this ends up going down is that because we've split the party,
true,
and there's could be very different dynamics for the different locations,
right?
There's just so much potential chaos that could come into play because, okay, we have one person who's been taken captive, but
that we can confirmed.
It's
others could be dead or just
others could be dead or who knows, but that's confirmed, but it's not necessarily known by the characters. There are things that the characters suspect, but then the characters don't even necessarily have the ability to communicate effectively with each other.
So they'll need to have Tengen basically set up some kind of way that he can be the relay point for information. But given that he's the sound Hashira, we could see in a way something where he has the ability to like hear things.
He just Batmans from like on a roof somewhere and just listens
that's the thing.
to the city.
We literally saw him on the roof kind of like giving kind of like a little bit of a look over the area. I think part of that is him kind of literally vibe checking the area.
Sure.
He's like, there's like a smoke like kind of enveloping this area. He's like, maybe one of the upper moons is here or what have you.
Yeah, it did seem like he had been able to suss out the general location of like the big demon because that's the other thing. Just because there's three like, you know, agents that have infiltrated this area doesn't mean there's three areas with enemies, right? So it could be something where it's like you could even get into some like slice of life stuff almost as it's the okay, this is all right.
Some of them have the easier setup.
Right, yeah, they have the easier setup where it's the we're keeping an eye out, we're going and searching around and stuff. But just the place that we're in is not where the bad guys are. Right.
It could be literally just Inosuke who's the one that got fucked with the like horrible situation where it's like, no, literally in the basement beneath you, Inosuke, is some shady shit going on.
But this is the brilliant part, is that Inosuke is the best girl of all of them.
Yes,
right?
he is.
So if he gets seen by the demons, they might not even realize that he's an infiltrator because they'll be like, okay.
He's a mute. She's a mute.
Right. Oh, some people are into that, you know, and okay, whatever, you know.
Or not
we
even
can make
that, just
work.
a thing of like, you don't have to worry about her. She doesn't speak about anything.
Right. Oh, perfect. In fact, you'll stay close to me, you know, because you can't speak, right? And then,
oh my god!
Imagine
Inosuke like having to like conceal, don't feel, while like someone is getting tortured right next to him or something.
And I'm waiting for the moment because so one of the things that I did think was a wonderful touch to this episode was when they show up in the town and they're like, oh, holy shit, this town is like what's going on?
So many
city
people.
nightlife, you know, like this is and especially for the time period that it's in, having a nightlife like that would be very strange, right? Because back then a lot more things were dictated by the rise and fall of the sun, right? You know, so having it be this situation,
it's not that. No, it's the early 1900s, Jacob. So the electricity is very much a thing.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
light bulb was 45 years ago.
Right. But these are a bunch of bakas that aren't often in like big cities and stuff.
True.
So, but the thing is that Inosuke had his whole thing of immediately needing to be like, all right, coming through. Imagine the shock and surprise when all the courtesans in this area and they're like, yes, Inoko, yes, you're so good and so pretty and oh, mute, okay, yeah.
That's so beautiful.
All of a sudden, coming through. Just,
I love the fact that Tengen went and removed his Hashira garb when he was basically escorting them, and we saw that like, oh my gosh, the guy is like fucking gorgeous. So he literally
he's married to 3 people.
Right, exactly. But he got the lady to take Zenitsu by just showing a little bit of like flirtiness, you know, just a little bit of like
turning on the charm.
And she's just like,
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Of course, no problem. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Yeah, having the party split, but also having a very clear setup of potentially a potentially unique situation where we saw with Tanjiro an example of a courtesan who is most likely a human, because Tanjiro has the smell.
Right.
So he would have probably been able to tell if this was a demon. And we saw some younger courtesans in training who basically were like, hey, I heard rumors, something that's going on. They're like, oh, don't talk about rumors. We don't know anything. Let's, know. And she was also very much like, whoa, why are you asking this question? She's got a very good handle on social situations and stuff. Means that we could get into a setup where we have humans and humans, basically with the ones in training versus the courtesan who kind of watches over them and kind of provides for them, the breadwinner. But then we could also have a situation where there's human courtesan, but some demons in the training side of things, but also the other flip where it's either demons at the top, demons all throughout, or demons
at the
and
top,
humans throughout. Right. And that could lead to some really, really unique, kind of...
I'm getting
setups.
The same vibe as you, where yes, it could be something as simple as this is the perfect feeding area for demons.
Totally.
Right? But on top of that, you could absolutely have it be something where it's hey, in addition to the being the breadwinner by being a courtesan and being able to sort of take care of people in that way,
right?
You could totally have something where it's no, I'm a demon. If push does come to shove, no one will fuck with us.
Yep.
Right?
Because they seem to be very competitive with each other. Yep. So if it's a situation where equilibrium must be maintained, a demon could also just throw away that life in some ways by hiding out here and being like, yeah, every once in a while I use my supernatural physical abilities to leave and do some feeding, but I'm back before anybody can think that I might have committed Ashinuke,
Right. And or able to people come in that are problematic customers, you know, and then they just disappear.
They just don't show up again.
And it's like,
it's no skin off their back, it's just like, oh, well.
And we didn't want them to come back anyways, and they didn't. Oh, hey, there you go.
In fact, I could totally see that being a thing of where they're like, oh no, some of them might be like full on more the assassin style with like a geisha or something like that, where they're just like, oh no, if you have a problem with the customer, we talk to her. And it's like,
sure,
what does she do? Yeah, she just makes sure that you are not messed with, and she watches over not just her house, but the entire community.
Yep.
There could be women like that as well. Yeah.
Right. So far, the setup for the demon
Among Us,
the demon Among Us kind of situation seems fairly straightforward, but it could get all kinds of complicated. And probably the type of interaction that I would be most excited to see is humans that are aware that the person is a demon and they're like, we don't have a problem with that.
Right.
Because there's situations where we have Nezuko being a demon and people are okay with that. Nezuko is very sweet and, and does a very good job of keeping the demon thing in check.
Yeah.
But what if you had someone who is actively being a demon and they figured out a way to make it work within the society city that they're in?
Dude, that's actually what they could do. The demon discovers that Nezuko is a demon.
And is like, no, stay with us.
Okay, cool, stay with us.
Yeah, this is the perfect place for you.
Yeah, and then Tanjiro might be conflicted of like, wait a minute.
Right.
Like, because Tanjiro's met like helpful demons in that regard. Like, he has.
Right. Like,
but that still is a thing where he'd be like, oh shit. Like, because this could actually be the place where he's like, okay, I will leave Nezuko here. Because Nezuko could actually be taken care of potentially really well here while he goes off and, deals with Muzan and big crazy fights and stuff. And then Nezuko could have some agency of being like, yes, this does seem like a great spot for me.
But what do I personally
really want to do?
Right.
No, I want to be with my brother. And I know he could get some cool stuff with that. So I'm excited about the premise of this season.
And fun antics along the way.
And fun antics along the way. And then also seeing what ways in which it kind of leaves this kind of setup here, because this might be a thing where they're here for 7 episodes or so. But then, the rest of it is like the chaos that ensues from their mission here or something like that. That blows up out of this. And
and even if they are staying in this physical location, if their covers end up getting blown, the dynamic of them being in this place could change dramatically.
Sure.
Almost to the point of it feeling potentially like a different arc. But,
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.